Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 2024 Silver Circle presentation. I'm Barbara Alfonso, President of the Suncoast Chapter of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, and I am honored to celebrate this remarkable milestone with all of you. And our honorees, today we celebrate not only excellence and distinction in your contributions to the television industry, we also celebrate your contributions to the community as mentors, educators, and volunteers. This seems like a full circle moment, having held our Student Production Awards on April 20th, and seeing the students' outstanding work. We know many of those students not only grew up watching you, looking up to you and your work, some even being mentored by you. And they are now choosing a career in the industry as a result, carrying on the legacy you have established over the span of your own careers. The Suncoast Chapter of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences is delighted to celebrate your accomplishments and contributions, and we are so proud to recognize you, our honorees, for 25 years or more of dedication to the television profession. This is the 36th annual Silver Circle celebration, and we are happy to add 8 more honorees to this distinguished list. Congratulations to all of our honorees. Let's get started. And now, it is a pleasure to introduce our first recipient, Kelly Burns, anchor WBBH NBC2 Fort Myers, Naples, Florida.
Kelly's broadcast career began early in her hometown of Binghamton, New York at the age of 9. That's where she first sat in the anchor chair, an early indication of what was to come for the award-winning children's show, Action News for Kids. Kelly graduated from the State University of New York at Geneseo. Her journey of journalistic excellence began at WBBH in 1994. She's been informing the viewers of Southwest Florida ever since. It all began as a reporter, working her way to the anchor desk in just 2 short years. Her talents and work ethic have taken her to major events around the world.
Upside down?
We're upside down.
Wow. Yes, we are.
Cuba, the new frontier, a country suspended in time.
The average Cuban makes about $20 a month, not enough to cover all the basic necessities.
Photojournalist Todd Offenbeck and I went to Haiti as journalists to document this medical team from Naples. But we ended up being needed in ways we never imagined. We comfort patients, help them forget the pain, and try to make them smile.
The sun's about to set here, and as you can see, these guys are still unloading supplies from their boats.
Across the country.
I'm Kelly Burns in the Florida Keys. Hello from sunny Centennial Olympic Park.
Donald Trump sealed the nomination tonight.
And locally.
30 days later, he was an EMT, and a public service career launched.
6 Afghans play in the park every day. That's what she did.
Kelly has been there when our community needed it the most.
It's our turn now. Tropical storm Gordon releases its fury on the west coast of Florida.
It's a hard-hit area, mid-island, 1- and 2-story homes. I knew this neighborhood well.
Bringing her heart, passion, and compassion to share our stories. Her work has been recognized by her peers over and over. 2 regional Edward R. Murrows, first place with the Florida Associated Press Hard News feature category for that coverage in Haiti.
Alone.
In 2010, named one of the power women in Lee County and one of Southwest Florida's 47 power players by 2 different local publications. It's that sense of duty that has led her to empower and mentor countless people. Her passion for storytelling being passed on to future journalists. It goes beyond the newsroom. Kelly has spent countless hours helping nonprofits raise millions of dollars for different charities in Southwest Florida.
Hey Kelly, congratulations on being honored with the Silver Circle Award. It is so well deserved, and I am so happy for you. The viewers of Southwest Florida are very, very lucky to have someone like you deliver the news to them each and every single night. On air, they get to see your professionalism, but they also get to see you tirelessly work in the Southwest Florida community to make the community a much better place.
You were always such a mentor to me. I was just thrilled to get to watch you be part of leadership in a newsroom. You were such a strong woman and personality, and I learned so much from you that I still carry through now.
You, my friend, are indeed a gem. This award that you're going to be getting is well deserved, and it tells me a lot about how you have made an impact in this entire business of television and certainly in the community of Fort Myers and Southwest Florida. You've been such a rock when it comes to charities and events, and your guidance and your counsel is just priceless.
She really was a mentor for me. She truly is an investigative reporter. That's in her heart what she is. Probably has one of the biggest hearts of anyone I would ever know. She's touched by people. She's not afraid to show her emotion. She's real, and she's just an incredibly caring human being. I can't even imagine how much money she's helped organizations raise in this community because she just still stays so involved. And that's what she's all about. I mean, 30 years, congratulations to you, Kelly. You're an amazing human being, a treasured friend, and a really valued journalist in this community. Congrats.
News may be her passion, but her true love is her blended family. Husband Ed, son Jack, daughter Elle, and what she affectionately calls her bonus daughter, Kara. That childlike enthusiasm and passion for sharing news carries on today. Her legacy should serve as a roadmap and inspire future generations to come. Kelly has been my co-anchor for 12 years now. She has really been there for me, both professionally and personally. And we spend about as much time with each other as we do our own families. And I consider Kelly part of my family now, and I see how fierce she is, how kind she is. She's just an incredible role model for everyone in our newsroom, and it's just amazing to have someone who cares this deeply about what we all do for a living and cares to see it continue to thrive, because she understands how important it is, how important local news is for our communities, and how important it is to make sure the next generation knows how to do it just as well as she's done it for so long. So congratulations, Kelly. I couldn't think of someone more deserving of this honor.
Oh, I knew there was going to be a video, but not like that. Thank you. It's beautiful. Oh my gosh. I'm rarely speechless. You know, Daryl, don't laugh. I should have brought my glasses. Thank you to everyone in this room and the Board of Governors, and congratulations to my fellow honorees. I made it. Oh, thanks, honey. 35 years in this freaking business, and I'm still here. How the heck did that happen? I mean, I keep threatening to quit. And here I am. The last couple of years have been kicking my ass. I mean, COVID, Cat 4 hurricane, my 20-year-old son, all of it. It's been quite a ride. Yeah, here I am. Every 3 years, I tell my boss, this is absolutely my last contract. And there I am, signing the paper again. Just when I'm ready to retire, something happens that gets me re-energized and refocused and makes me realize how really important it is what we do on the news desk and in our communities. You get addicted to that feeling, the adrenaline. We live for the breaking news and to have a front seat to history, and we know we're a part of it. Not many people can say that they've worked for the same company for 31 years. I'm blessed to have worked nearly 3 decades for a family-owned broadcasting company and the pioneer Bernie Waterman. Now I'm a proud member of the Hearst family of broadcasters, working for my favorite boss, and my friend of 27 years, Daryl Lazy Adams. Daryl, you gave me the chance to live my passion for journalism and fulfill my dream of being a mom to 3 fantastic kids. My bonus daughter, Kara, who's here, who recently got married. I love you, I'm so proud of you. My son, my 20-year-old son, Jack, who's launching a baseball career, if anybody knows any agents, and my beautiful 12-year-old daughter, Elle, who I love to pieces, completed our family. I'm the oldest mom in 6th grade by at least a decade. Yeah, I got a late start. Thank you for making me a mommy, and thank you for understanding when I can't be there for all of your baseball games or for sometimes your middle school soccer games. I'm there with you in my heart. Thank you to my husband of 20 years. We've done this crazy thing called marriage in different time zones. For most of that marriage, you knew this news thing was in my blood. And while you didn't understand why I would work such a crazy schedule for not a lot of money, you supported me. So thank you, and thank you for all the flights you make back and forth from Chicago, and thank you for supporting our family and for loving me and being a really, really great support system. I started in this business, as we mentioned, at the age of 9, and in college they kept telling me you're never going to get a job in this business. You know, I went to SUNY Geneseo, not exactly the bastion of journalistic excellence. We were better at producing Jenny beer and teachers. And so I finally got a job when I got out of college by bribing a sales manager who I was bartending, and he liked screwdrivers and I'd make them really strong. So he let me come into the newsroom and work for free for a year for him, which we don't really do that anymore in this business. And I finally got my first assignment. I got my first job. It was so exciting. About a couple months in, I was sent to cover, I'm from New York, so, you know, I was covering a mob trial, and they were walking in, and I couldn't tell my boss that the guy that was on trial was actually, my aunt had been married to his son. And the guy wheeling him in every day was my former uncle. So I ended up in Florida because I wanted an anchor job, and my boss at the time, we got a new news director, and he wouldn't give me the job. And I was like, well, I'm going to show him. I'm going to get another job. And I got a job in Fort Myers. I followed Craig Wolf down here, my man I'd anchor with down here for 17 years. And I thought, I'm going to Fort Myers. And I didn't even know where the hell Fort Myers was. I mean, I'm from New York. We go to Boca, we go to Miami, we go to Fort Lauderdale. So I drove over, and my first story was a boatload of Cuban refugees had come ashore at the Port Royal Club in Naples, the most exclusive club basically in Florida. And they sent me to cover it live, and there I was. And these poor refugees are on shore. I had no idea about Cuba and the wet foot, dry foot, and these other reporters are asking them questions, and they all spoke Spanish, and I didn't speak. I took French in college, and I thought, what am I doing here? 2 years, I'm out. I'm going back to the Northeast. Yeah, here I am. People say, why did you, 31 years later, here I am. I started as a reporter, then the weekend anchor, and I wasn't the best news reader, and I wasn't the prettiest, and I wasn't the smartest, but nobody outworked me. And when the two main anchors during the week both got pregnant at the same time, I spread my scent around that main anchor chair. I marked it, and no one else was going to sit there but me for those couple of months. And sure enough, when one of them left the business, I got a chance at 28 years old, and I was actually bumped over the next anchor and given the main anchor job. I didn't know what the heck I was doing, but my boss believed in me at the time. People say, why'd you stay in Fort Myers? And I had a couple of other offers and some really good chances, but I was already in a shop where news was important, where journalism with a capital J was invested in, where my bosses treated me with respect, and they gave me the freedom to be creative and make mistakes, and they let me go out in the field and report, and family came first. And if I ever had a family issue, it was Daryl, Tim, it was like, just go. All that was true when COVID hit. We continued to work, spreading out the producers and the news team in the newsroom. We never worked from home. We never stayed home. We never missed a day. We knew people were depending on us. My people were there in the newsroom every single day. When Hurricane Ian hit, we stayed on the air when the other stations in the market evacuated. Our chief meteorologist, Allison, was sitting there. She lost her home, her kick-ass collection of boots, everything washed into the river, and she'd wipe away her tears and go back on the air. My people were there, and we stayed on the air. My people were there when my parents' home flooded, and they lost everything. We stayed at work, and we stayed on the air. People were direct messaging me during the storm saying, please help me. They were FaceTiming me, and I saw someone standing on their kitchen counter with their kids showing a window where the water looked like the Titanic on their second floor, and we were trying to get rescues out to them, only to have their cell phone die. My neighborhood flooded. My husband put my daughter on his back and took her across the street. She was crying, calling me, saying, Mommy, why can't you come home? And I said, Dad will take care of you. And she said, he's outside on a ladder trying to get pine needles out of the eaves. This is a Category 4 store, but I really don't think the pine needles mattered. We worked and scrimped and saved to buy a condo on the beach, and that was gone too. But we stayed at work and we stayed on the air. That storm changed all of us. And I have never been more proud to work at NBC2 in Fort Myers, Florida. And that is why I'm still here, grinding it out. Peter, love you. Thanks for always having my back. The laughs during commercial breaks, knowing just what to say. We just have a rhythm together and a look. I know exactly what you're thinking and what we're going to do next. There's an unspoken language that we have together. There's no one else I want by my side. You're so brilliant and so focused and so calm. When sometimes I get worked up at things, you're like, okay, this is what we're going to do. You always do the right thing. I love you. Not to mention you have a fantastic head of hair. Tim, you have become an incredible newsroom leader. You have the best news spidey sense of anybody. You just predict things that are going to happen. You're way too smart to be a news director. You should have been a doctor or an investment banker. I love working for you, except during Hurricane Week when you make us go out and live shot for 2.5 hours. I'll never forgive you. And Daryl, it's been a wonderful 27 years. You are my heart. You've grown from a first-time news director to Hearst Broadcasting's newest general manager, and no one deserves it more. You are always one step ahead of the competition. You know how much I love to win. And I love you. You're a fantastic boss and an incredible man. To the board, thank you for this honor. I just want to say one last thing. Can we please change the name of this award? Silver, really? Everyone in my newsroom still keeps calling me the senior anchor, and now I'm the senior silver anchor, like senior alert. You know, I'm like, can it be like platinum or something like that? It sounds so much better than silver. I am living my dream. Thank you to all my people. You were always there on this crazy, wild, wonderful, exhausting ride. I'm honored to join the circle.
Congratulations, Kelly. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our next honoree, Alexa Elliott, creator and series producer, Changing Seas, South Florida PBS, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Alexa was born in Germany and moved to Tunisia in 3rd grade, where she first learned to speak English. She returned to Germany to start high school in 5th grade. It was her dream to study in the United States, and she spent her junior year of high school in Moorhead, Kentucky as a foreign exchange student. She graduated in Germany and traveled back to Kentucky to attend Moorhead State University. Her work in public media began at WMKY Public Radio. In 2000, she moved to Florida for graduate school and worked at WUFT FM and TV. After graduation, she worked as an adjunct professor and at WGCU. In 2006, Alexa joined WPBT2, and the rest is history.
When she first started, she used to commute from North Miami all the way to Naples, all in the west coast of Florida. That's what I call dedication.
But her perseverance was an early example of the dedicated and determined work that would characterize Alexa as a person and as a producer for years to come.
The thing that impresses me most about Alexa is how much she loves what she's doing.
I think one of the keys to Alexa's success is that she always has a plan B, followed by a plan C, D, and E. She is the most prepared producer I know.
Hi. Anytime I get to spend with Alexa, whether it be a meeting or a phone call, I leave feeling completely inspired.
She is really one of the best coworkers, colleagues, bosses you could ask for. She is always so supportive, and her work is incredible.
We are getting ready to
Working with Alexa is always an adventure. For one, she knows how to get through customs like a pro. She always needs a souvenir everywhere she travels. And most importantly, she is extremely passionate and thoughtful, both as a friend and as a producer.
We're in the middle of the desert, but the desert is made up of bird poop, basically.
Over the past 17 years, Alexa has been much more than a colleague. Our time together in the trenches has been filled with invaluable experiences and memories that I hold dear.
One of the very first shoots I went on, we were filming an episode on tiger sharks, and we went to the Bahamas. On the last day, the captain said, "We have a shark." They brought the shark up to the boat, they worked it up, they put a satellite tag on it, and then we wanted to get a shot of this massive, probably 10-foot tiger shark being released. We were all hesitant about getting in the water, except for one person, and it was Alexa. She was the first person who threw on a tank and jumped in, and I was like, oh, now I have to go. But it was amazing, fearless.
Woo, I got it. Another great show with Alexa, filming the borders in California. Beautiful adventure, and I want to congratulate you for your wonderful award you're getting. It's been a lot of fun working with you, and I wish you all the best.
The Vision team wants to just congratulate Alexa Elliott on all her accomplishments that she's done changing seas. She is a superhero and award winner, and her follows her to the ends of the earth.
I met Alexa some 10 years ago when she asked me to be the narrator for her little gem of a TV show called Changing Seas. She was at the helm and she made me feel so welcome, supported, every good kind of thing, because that's who she is.
Your documentary work is exemplary, and your many Emmy Awards are a testament to that. PBS would not be the same without you, and you're a true asset to our organization.
She throws herself into the work of Changing Seas and has made that series one of the longest running science and natural history programs on public television.
Whether she's in the water with tiny seahorses and baby octopus, or gigantic whale sharks, Alexa finds the adventure in every day of production.
Like, it's just us, a small, dedicated crew of people who get to do this. And yeah, you're our leader. You know, you came up with the series. Some of the most incredible moments of my life I owe to you.
Hopefully other people will
Hopefully
too.
other people will like it.
We've been in here a long time.
Hi, my name is Carolyn Batchelor, and I had the great pleasure of working with PBS as an intern, and this is my dad.
Hi Alexa, this is John Batchelor with the Batchelor Foundation. We're very proud of you. You've done exemplary work in production for PBS. I watch it. I am a fan of Changing Seas, and just want to reach out and tell you that we so appreciate you and your team, and just keep up the good work.
Alexa, congratulations on your Silver Circle Award. Well done. I am so very proud of you. When I think about some of the work that I think is some of our best work, you come to mind.
Congratulations on what you accomplished in the last 25 years, and I can't wait to see what you do next.
Congratulations, Alexa, on this well-deserved award.
Way to go, Alexa. Congratulations.
Congratulations on your award. Very well deserved for all your hard work in the industry. I'm just looking forward to more Changing Seas adventures with you. Congratulations.
Hi Alexa, you put your heart and soul into everything you do, and you really deserve this honor. Congratulations.
My dear Alexa, I'm very happy to get the opportunity to congratulate you here to your Silver Circle Award. What a great honor. I know that you work very hard every day, and I'm again and again fascinated of all your ideas for new episodes of Changing Seas and your great engagement for the series. And I'm very grateful about all I learned by watching Changing Seas. And I'm so proud of you and very glad to be your mom. I love you.
Congratulations, I couldn't be prouder. May your talent inspire us all.
Thank you to those who have appropriately helped us honor Alexa's dedication to her career. Most of all, Alexa, congratulations, because I know how hard you work, and I know how much you deserve this. I love you.
Chewy. It's a surprise at our station. I have not seen this before, as you can tell. Thank you guys so much for all your kind words and the hard work that I know went into putting this together. Gosh. First of all, a big thank you to Barbara and Carla, Devi, Francis, the entire Board of Governors, all the volunteers who make today possible. It is such a great event. And of course, congratulations to all my fellow recipients. So proud to be up here with you guys. When I think about this, when I was, thinking about what to say, I just can't believe it's been 27 years in this crazy business, and almost 18 of those at South Florida PBS. And I think I speak for all of us when I say that the days are really long, but man, those years have been short. And, we're always chasing that next deadline, right? We rarely take the time to pause and reflect, to think about what we've done, where we've been, all the accomplishments we've had over that time period. So that's why this is such a wonderful occasion. Thank you, NATAS. And let's see. Sorry, I'm having really bad allergies today. What I was going to say, what most people don't know, is that I'm a first-generation immigrant, but you've already heard that. So I did not learn English until the age of 9. And after this 1 year spent at an American school in Tunisia in 4th grade, I decided that 1 year I was going to live in the United States and work in TV. And for sure, my family in Germany thought that that was the most ridiculous pipe dream they've ever heard of, right? I mean, who does that? So, but I was really, really determined. And it was thanks to my family and my American host family that I was able to attend college and later graduate school here in the United States. And it really, really means the world to me to be able to stand here today and say thank you guys for all that you did to make this possible. You really did make my American dream come true. And Andrew, my husband, thank you for not only putting up with the long hours and the weeks away on assignment, but you also are such a great sport when I just suddenly show up with 100 tadpoles to raise in our dining room because we need B-roll of them turning into frogs. Or I come back from some shoot on the deep sea with some creepy, stinky deep sea critter that I want to pickle in the kitchen. So he's a really good sport. I love you, honey. I also have been very fortunate to have some incredible professors and mentors along the way. And I'm so excited that my favorite mentor is here with us today. Are there any fellow Gators in the room? Well, Donna Green Townsend at WUFT-FM, I thank you so much for teaching me how to write long-form stories and for telling me so much about Florida's natural environment. You really set me on the path that I am today. It is just absolutely crazy to think 17 years ago, when I wrote the initial proposal for the Changing Seas series, I would have never in my wildest dreams thought that we would still be producing episodes today. And that is in large part due to this incredible team we have. Thank you guys so much for believing in this idea and for working so hard to make each and every episode the best that it can be. We wouldn't be on the air still if it weren't for all of you guys. So I love you guys, and I appreciate all you do each and every day. It's been just, such an incredible privilege. We've filmed from just shy of the North Pole to the far reaches of the South Pacific and everywhere in between. And it has been such a great adventure. We've really had some fun. But I do often think about how with that privilege comes a lot of responsibility as well. Responsibility not just to the scientists, right, who entrust us with telling, the public about their research accurately, but also to the habitats and the wildlife that we feature, which don't have a voice but are so threatened by human activity each and every day, climate change, of course, being first and foremost. We live in a strange time, especially in this business. Trust in the media is at an all-time low. We're dealing with deep fakes, and everybody and their cousin is calling themselves a content creator nowadays, and they're not abiding by the same journalistic ethics that all of us here in this room hold sacred. Which is why I think it is so important, that now more than ever we continue to work hard to provide accurate but also thoughtful and nuanced information to our audiences, and nurture the next generation of journalists who will follow in our footsteps one day. I think a healthy democracy depends on a strong fourth estate. So with that said, I think there's still lots to do. So here's to the next 25 years. Thank you all.
Congratulations, Alexa. And now I am honored to introduce our next recipient, Maria Kapetanakis, Assistant News Director, WSCV Telemundo 51, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Me complace saludar a mi amiga María Kapetanakis en un día tan especial para ella, un día en que recibe la recompensa de décadas de trabajo, de esfuerzo, de dedicación y sobre todo de empatía. Testigo de eso somos muchos de nosotros que hemos trabajado con ella durante años. Me complace tener su amistad y haber estado colaborando con ella para que nuestro trabajo cada día sea mejor. Eres merecedora de este premio, deseo que lo disfrutes y un gran abrazo para ti, María.
I have known Maria for 26 years. I want to take this opportunity to thank her because she's one of the people to whom I owe this beautiful career. She gave me the opportunity to do what I enjoy the most, tell stories. Maria is a great leader, an excellent professional, and above all, a great human being. A great mother, daughter, friend, and boss, always ready to help and serve our community. Felicidades, Maria, te queremos mucho.
George!
24 years hearing my name in stereophonic sound.
María Kapetanakis es una mujer exitosa en la historia de la televisión, donde empezó como una joven soñadora que con su trabajo y dedicación ha aportado a cubrir historias de gran impacto en nuestra comunidad.
Esto es un poco raro.
Su intuición, carisma y fortaleza han dejado huella en el mundo de las noticias.
Te premian por tu trayectoria, pero lo maravilloso es que has ejercido el periodismo y trabajado con amor, muy humana, de corazón. Así que por eso, gracias y felicidades, María. Enhorabuena. Un apartamento.
Muchas personas no conocen que yo estoy en Telemundo 51 gracias a María Kapetanakis. María me trajo para hacer el segmento del tiempo en el noticiero del fin de semana, algo que yo no pensaba podría hacer, pero ella confió en mí en aquel entonces más que yo misma. Gracias por tu apoyo y confianza. Muchas felicidades por este merecido reconocimiento. Te mereces este y muchos más.
¿Qué puedo desearte? Muchísimos más años de éxitos. Han sido 32 años con grandes logros y sé que van a continuar siendo así. Y lo que más deseo es poder compartirlos contigo. Felicidades.
Detrás de sus éxitos hay una historia de lucha. A warrior that through perseverance and intuition has managed to succeed throughout the years in our difficult and competitive news industry.
For years, I worked side by side with Maria in the newsroom, and every day I learned from her incredible knack for news. She always knew exactly what we had to have in the newsroom, locally, nationally. That was an incredible learning process for me. So Maria, I miss you. Muchísimas felicidades, congratulations, te mereces este premio.
María Kapetanakis es entre las mujeres periodistas con mayor experiencia y conocimiento que conozco manejando una sala de redacción. Por eso me complace muchísimo que María esté recibiendo este reconocimiento por su dedicación, por su empeño y por su respeto al periodismo. María, te respeto y te admiro. Muchas felicidades.
María, siempre mereces lo mejor.
Congratulations, María. You are the best. You are a rock star. We love you.
María, bueno, ¿qué te puedo decir? Darte todas las felicidades del mundo y yo creo que este premio es más que merecido. Suerte, éxito como siempre, un abrazo gigante desde aquí.
Maria, congratulations for many more years working together behind cameras.
Maria, I want to share with this group a few things, a few very personal stuff that a lot of people don't know. One is that you've been married several times, a photographer, a poet. But the true marriage has been with our newsroom. For 32 years,
You've been steady with this newsroom, and it's changing patterns, and it's changing technology, and it's in and out of reporters, and you have held the helm from the assignment desk onto assistant news director. People don't know is what you bring to this this outfit, to our newsroom, certainly to this office, which is calm, steady, knowledge, and above all, a sense of humor that life doesn't end, that it just requires that you follow instructions, and that includes me. I follow your instructions too. I'm going to reveal other things. That you are an awesome, generous, gifting mother, and that you are an incredible daughter. I want to wish you many years with us, with the same style, the same fervor, and the same fire in your belly.
I want to thank the Academy for this incredible honor. To my Telemundo family, Helga, Carballo, for the kind words and nomination. It's wonderful to be so appreciated. What an incredible and fulfilling career I continue to have after 32 years. I am truly, truly blessed to be able to say I love my job and work with so many amazing professionals at Telemundo 51. I'd like to thank my family, my mom for her undying support in my quest to have it all. My husband for all his love and understanding that my job is 24/7. My children for their never-ending love and understanding why mom wasn't home during hurricanes. As a manager, I have tried my best to be a good person, a fair and nurturing leader, and above all, an ethical journalist. Thank you again for this honor and recognition. Thank you.
Congratulations, Maria. Now I am happy to introduce our next recipient, Oman Machuca, retired senior reporter and producer, Telemundo 31, NBC, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
Pero puede que la cosa cambie.
Así es, Iris. Exactamente en 1998, los condados Orange y Osceola compraron estos terrenos.
Oman Machuca is always about giving the story more.
Vamos directamente a la corte. Nuevamente el juez se dirige a los miembros del jurado y a quienes se encuentran en corte.
Whether it's breaking news or a feature story, he wants more facts, more in-depth coverage, more connections to the community.
Hoy comienza a escribirse un nuevo capítulo en la historia
Always
de la
landing exclusives, from covering astronauts plus shuttle launches and rockets on Florida's Space Coast.
¿Qué tal, amigos televidentes de América, España y el mundo hispano en general?
Oman Machuca was the first Spanish-language journalist to transmit via satellite for the NASA Space Shuttle launches with United Latin Television to stations in Latin America and Europe. To the halls of power in the House of Representatives, the Senate, or local politicians, they either run to Oman for comprehensive coverage or they run from him because they know Oman Machuca, a news veteran, wants answers. He wants more. He wants the truth. Oman, the early years. From adolescence, at the age of 16, Oman Machuca, a native of Colombia, began his broadcasting career behind the scenes as a production specialist, recording segments for El Nuevo Continent of Bogotá, where he would climb up the corporate ladder and eventually become general manager. He studied at Colegio Superior of Telecommunications and at the University of América in Bogotá, where he received his degree in journalism and communications. So in 1984, he moved to the United States and transitioned into TV and is truly a pioneer in Spanish-language media across Central Florida, working for Univision Orlando and Telemundo Orlando.
Estamos de regreso en 7 días en el mundo.
In honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, I want to recognize Oman Machuca.
His attention to detail has garnered Oma Machuca recognition in Congress by the House of Representatives in October of 2019 as a distinguished journalist in Florida. His biography was read at the House of Representatives. Oma Machuca won an Emmy Award for his work in television, arts, and science. In 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2011 and 2019, Machuca was awarded the Paoli Award. In 2008, he was awarded the Professional of the Year Don Quixote Award.
Challenger, go at throttle up.
For the transmission of Space Shuttle Challenger disaster in 1986, Oma Machuca was awarded the Reportaje del Año with United Press International. Before the Challenger disaster, he was on the list of journalists to be able to travel to space. Oma is very busy these days as the CEO of HMAC Productions. He's creating documentaries and working on special content that has to do with social, economic boundaries, political, and community analysis as well.
Una agencia independiente creada por el presidente estadounidense Woodrow Wilson en 1915.
Oma continues to report and perform voiceovers for organizations such as National Geographic, Discovery, and more.
Detrás de mí, un grupo de galenos operan a una niña de paladar hendido.
Always giving back to the community, he volunteers and serves in the Hispanic community with many different organizations, including COAMED, a group of doctors from Orlando who travel to different countries helping those with medical needs. Oman reports and covers the procedures the doctors perform for special TV reports.
Y compartir precisamente es lo que hizo una niña.
He's also part of Whipping Childhood Cancer, an organization based in Central Florida dedicated to helping kids diagnosed with cancer. He has served as a board member of Whipping Childhood Cancer for 8 years now. Very near and dear to his heart is volunteer work across the area, especially for Runway to Hope, where he escorts children with cancer on stage for a night filled with fashion to a sellout crowd of over 2,000 guests.
Back to the future.
In his personal life, more than the awards and accolades, Machuca's greatest accomplishments is that of the role of husband, father, and grandfather. He's married to his wife, Dawn Dodge Machuca, for decades. He currently resides in Oviedo, Florida, with his lovely wife. They have a daughter, Elaine, son, Timothy, and daughter, Natalie. His 4 granddaughters and 2 grandsons keep Oman on his toes, always wanting more, just like their grandpa. More time to learn, more time to grow. He keeps telling them to reach for the stars, to live the American dream, but never forgetting their roots.
I don't know, I'm so nervous right now. Even though I've been working on television for so many years, this is a moment that I will remember all the time. I'm really pleased to receive this award. Thank you so much for the Emmy, Suncoast, and also I want to thank my station, Telemundo 31, the station that I worked last. But family is the most important thing in our career. I have to thank my wife, 49 years old. She has seen soul. She has seen me cry. She has seen me enjoy like this moment. She has seen me be unemployed. And also she has seen me be successful in different occasions. I also want to thank my children. Elaine, Timothy, he's here with me, and also Natalie, They are my life. They are the moments that I have seen with them through the years. Sometimes difficult, sometimes beautiful. I want to thank Telemundo 31. I want to thank all the people in my life. And I'm supporting organizations like Weeping Childhood Cancer, COAMED, and other ones that we are as communicators want to see them get the work done, and we help them with different occasions so they will continue working through the community. As a communicator, we need to identify people to help others. Help others as a journalist is one of our jobs, not only report about occasions, news about a situation with people in different situations, but also people that help other people to go in this difficult path sometimes, in difficult situations like in the hurricanes, like in the fires, like in sad moments, because we have seen so many stories. And I know every one of us, as a journalist, we have seen people crying, we have seen people starving, we have seen people doing bad things against others, but sometimes the news only focus on bad things and not in a good things, like moments that some people help others, moments that somebody go extra mile. I give you, God, the glory for this, because He is helping me through all my life. Voy a expresar ahora unas palabras en español. Agradezco sinceramente a Dios, agradezco a mi familia, agradezco a mis colegas, quienes han trabajado conmigo, a ustedes que naturalmente se encuentran en este lugar aquí, disfrutando de este momento. Recordemos que lo más importante en nuestra profesión es la ayuda hacia el otro, ayudar a los demás. Pero al mismo tiempo, mientras informamos, seamos equivalentes, expresemos nuestra opinión a los demás, colocando todas las cosas en una balanza. No nos inclinemos hacia un lado o hacia el otro, más bien mantengamos la equidad y que el mundo y los protagonistas del mundo decidan su derrotero. Muchas gracias, muy buenas tardes.
Congratulations, Oman. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our next honoree, Belkis Nerey, anchor, WSVN 7, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Emmy award-winning journalist, news anchor, entertainment show host, involved in the community, and Silver Circle honoree. But enough about me. We're here to celebrate a woman who is also all of those things and who's as unique as her name. Belkis Nerey. She's truly an original, one of those rare talents who knows how to communicate and connect with her audience like no one else. She was born in Cuba and spent part of her childhood in Long Island before calling Hialeah home. Belkis talked so much in class, even wiring her mouth shut didn't help. After getting her broadcast journalism degree at FIU, she got her first job at Dynamic Cablevision.
I'm Belkys Nure.
She was a one-man band, producing and shooting and editing her own stories while winning over viewers with her big smile, big hair, and engaging personality.
I'll kill you if you do that again. This is an Action News Brief. Good afternoon, I'm Belkys Nure, live in the Action
Her next stop was at Channel 8 Action News in New Haven, Connecticut, where she put her Spanish-speaking skills to work during the storm of the century and made the monumental decision to get a haircut. Then, in 1994, Belkys got an offer she couldn't refuse right here in her hometown at South Florida's news station, WSVN 7.
Lynn, that flight data recorder was contaminated. I'm Belkys Nure at Miami City Hall.
She made her mark traveling the world,
Here in Port-au-Prince,
covering major stories like Castro's meeting with Pope John Paul II,
during Castro's visit here to Rome,
the OJ trial,
it's a blow to the defense.
and the death of Princess Diana,
The princess's funeral is set for Saturday.
just to name a few. But it was on WSVN's locally produced Prime Access entertainment show, Deco Drive, co-hosted by yours truly, that Belkys got to let her hair down.
Here's what we're talking about.
Giving us all a chance to witness her witty,
I was going to wear this very outfit.
fun-loving side.
She's Lynn Martinez. I'm Belkys Nure. We've got the giggles.
From spoofing the Oscars
Sausage!
to rubbing elbows with the rich and famous, including an Emmy-winning one-on-one with the one and only Cher.
You're so cool.
Belkys' refreshingly different style helped make Deco sizzle.
Wow, that was a mouthful.
Speaking of sizzle, it was during this time that she began her weekly Bite with Belkys segment and series of specials featuring easy-to-make recipes and interviews with top chefs.
I'm Belkys Nure, and if I can do it, you can do it.
But in 2003, it was time for Belkys to step up to a different kind of plate, getting her shot at the big kids table,
I'm Belkys Nure. We've got you covered from A to Z.
co-anchoring the early and late news, where, for over 20 years, she's been covering elections,
A massive turnout.
hurricanes,
The Hurricane Center has just put out.
and everything in between,
Belkys Nure there for it all.
with fellow Silver Circle honoree Craig Stevens.
That's why the night team
Is the right team for you.
And when she's not gracing some magazine cover or being voted New Times Best TV News Anchor over and over again, you'll find Belkys out in the community, supporting such causes as Best Buddies, American Cancer Society, United Way, the Boys and Girls Club, and other great organizations. Wow, overachiever, incredible. But seriously, before we wrap up, there are a few people who really want to congratulate you.
Hi there, it's Ying to your Yang. Congrats on your well-deserved induction. Belkys, you embody the best of what it represents, as you like to say, 30 years plus tax and tip of service to South Florida viewers, a beloved member of our community and our WSVN team. As your TV husband of, 21 years? It's particularly special for me to be here as we celebrate you and all you've accomplished. Well done, T-Bread. Congrats.
And you thought you were done with me. This is a long time coming, Ray. I used to watch you growing up as a kid on the old black and white. Yeah, before cable. We used to listen to her on the transistor. Welcome to the club, Ray. You know I'm retired, so I gotta get back now to doing nothing.
Hello, my Belle Nure. Congratulations. It's Mother. What a career you've had, and I am so happy that I've been part of it for these past 30 years. And you know what? I would do it all over again with you, my Belle. Happy Silver Circle. Mwah.
Hi, sweetheart. By now you've heard a lot of accolades about your work as an entertainment host and as a newscaster. Those are well-deserved. But I want to take a second to talk about Bite with Belkys, because it addresses an underserved community. By underserved, I mean me at lunchtime. You show people every week that you connect with them as enthusiastically as you do with celebrity chefs. That's why I love you. That's why the city of Miami loves you. That's why we're so proud.
You know I love you. I've known you so long. You're one of my closest friends. And you know, Belkys is very special. First of all, she makes you feel like your family, no matter what she's doing. I just think Belkys is one of the most real people that you're ever going to meet. And that's what draws people to her and everything she does. I am incredibly proud and honored to be her friend, and she deserves this very, very much. Congratulations, Belle. I wish I could be there applauding you, but I applaud you from afar.
Hey, lady. Congratulations on winning such an incredible award.
You've contributed so much to the TV industry, to your community, and especially to us. You inspire me to be a better person each and every day. I'm so proud of you and proud to have you as my role model. I love you.
Hey Belle, congratulations on this amazing achievement. You are so thoughtful, you're so giving, and you are so admired by everyone around you and in your industry. You push everyone to be their best and do the best that they can do. And for that, I love you so much for it.
Belkis, sabes que eres mi vida. Ojalá que siga cumpliendo tus metas. Que Dios te bendiga. Y esta es la herencia que yo te he dejado. Muchas bendiciones y que el Señor te siga acompañando. Soy tu mami.
Are you crying now? I know you're crying now. I'm crying now. One of my favorite memories of you, Belle, is when you first started at Channel 7 and anchor Jessica Aguirre tossed you live somewhere and she said, and Belkis Nure has more. Belkis? To which you replied, it's Belkis. Man, I know, I was like, you got cojones. Sassy and real from day one. Yes, you and I have shared some of the best days of our television lives, but my favorite time with you is being your lifelong friend. You're authentic. You're a bolt when it comes to secrets. You once told me, I don't know how to be anything else other than Belkis Nure. Well, that's all you have to be. Be you. Continue being you because people love you. Congratulations, my friend. I love you.
This is the part of the program where the honoree loses her composure. That video, Kevin Kramer, thank you so much. I gave you some photographs, I told you a couple of stories, and you made magic in our promotions department. Amazing, thank you so much. Truth be told, I never wanted this award. Craig, my co-anchor, is on the NATAS board, and every year it's time for Silver Circle. Silver Circle nominees, 30 years plus, blah, blah, Silver Circle. I'm like, hey, don't be giving me anything with the word silver in it, because it means I'm old. I'm ready for that thing. But standing here right now, I'm having all the feels, but old is not one of them. I feel accomplished, empowered, honored, so honored. But above all else, I feel so grateful. So grateful that I get to do a job that I love in the city where I grew up. I get to do this job surrounded by my family. And we all know what a gift that is in this business. You go where the jobs are, and I am the exception and not really the rule. So that is one of the greatest gifts that I get, to have my family around me. Sometimes I don't want to be around them, but it's nice to have the option. I am so grateful to Ed Anson and Bob Leiter. I know that they are smiling on me today. I'm so grateful for all of the support and the opportunities that they gave me from the minute I walked in that door at Channel 7. I've done everything you guys saw, reporter, entertainment, now back to the news desk, the big kids table, as I like to call it. I am so grateful that they never, ever told me not to be me. When I got promoted from Deco Drive back over to news to the main anchor desk, they took me to lunch and said, Belkis, you know, you're doing entertainment, but we know you can do news because it's where you started, and we want you to be the main anchor, but we still want you to be yourself. And I am so grateful that they've never asked me to be anything other than me. They've never asked me to dim my light in any way. I'm so grateful that now James and Paul and Tom and Kelly and Andy and Alice still allow me to do that. And now they let me cook. I had this wild idea that I wanted to do a cooking segment, and they said, go ahead. I am so grateful that my bosses, because of this job, I've had the most amazing experiences. I've had a front row seat to history-making events, popes, politicians, presidents, celebrities, royals, Super Bowls, World Series. I have done it all. I've had the most amazing experiences, and I've made the greatest friends, best friends, who are now my family. I am so grateful, so grateful. So grateful that my parents are still here to share and see my accomplishments. My dad couldn't be here today because of health issues, but my mom is here, who taught me early on that getting an education and hard work is the only way to succeed in this life. Gracias, mami, por ese ejemplo. I am so, so grateful for everything that this job has given me. I am so grateful for my husband, Dimitri. I love you so much. You make my life better. And I am so, so honored and humbled and grateful that I have survived and thrived in this business for more than 30 years. So, Natas, I accept your silver circle. And I am just so thankful that this job has given me a life, a bigger life than I could have ever have dreamed of for myself. So thank you to the board, and congratulations to all of the honorees this afternoon. Thank you. Gracias. And I didn't do the ugly Oprah cry. I was almost there, but not quite. Thank you.
Congratulations, Belkis. And now it is an honor to introduce our next recipient, Trina Robinson, anchor, NBC6, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Trina Robinson, a news director's dream. She can anchor the news, cover any story, investigate, and do the weather too. Those of us lucky enough to work with her, fortunate to see all she means to South Florida.
3, 2, 1. Good afternoon, everybody. We've got a great day shaping up all across the nation.
It was September 1999 when a new face at WTVJ began chipping away at long-standing barriers.
Trina Robinson.
The new hire, Trina Robinson.
90 degrees, so another smoker of a day.
A sharp and bold meteorologist.
And if Ryan Phillips and Trina Robinson tell you it's going to be another beautiful week in the 80s.
Making inroads in a field often reserved for people who didn't look like her, and becoming the first African American to ever hold a TV weather position in South Florida.
Trina and I worked together about 16 years ago at WTVJ in the weather department. I've never had a better colleague. More importantly, I've never worked with a nicer person. Trina, you are wonderful on air. You're an even more wonderful friend.
Hey, I'm Mike Jenkins at the Weather Channel. I worked with Trina Robinson during my years at WTVJ in Miami. Had the pleasure of being around her. Her passion for her job is contagious. She has one of the most diverse skill sets of anyone I've worked with.
And good evening, everyone. I'm meteorologist Trina Robinson. We're watching a rapidly intensifying Hurricane Dennis, now a Category 3 storm.
In July 2005 came one of her first big tests in the form of Hurricane Dennis.
Jackie and Tony, you are so right. An Air Force reconnaissance plane has been in that system.
Life, similar to a hurricane, is often unpredictable. Dennis formed early in the season and looked to be a menace.
I just wanted to give you a heartfelt thank you because I know you've been here since midnight last night,
Oh,
and you've
Jackie,
been
that's very
informing
sweet
us
of
and
you.
our viewers, and you're doing a great job. so thank you very
thank
much,
you.
Trina.
It's our job, and we try and protect life and limb, and it's a privilege to be able to help the viewers in this time of concern.
A mixture of vacations and illnesses left the WTVJ weather department understaffed. So Trina was the lone meteorologist, the last woman standing, leading coverage of a major storm that, although left South Florida relatively unscathed, proved to be deadly and costly in other parts of Florida. And soon after that, Trina expanded her reach.
Left, right.
One of her first adventures outside of meteorology, Trina tries it. The TV journalist, so used to excelling, suddenly finding herself failing, to our amusement, at things like salsa dancing.
That's it.
So his tire's not going to fall off?
No. Fixing cars, and even ice sculpting.
This is Chainsaw Massacre 11.
Then there was South Florida Today, a one-of-a-kind magazine-style show that proved to be a great fit for a woman known for her quick comebacks.
I remember our connection.
Yeah, there was something going on there, wasn't it?
I would like you to poke me on Facebook.
I'm going to poke you.
And a flair for the dramatic. In 2008, the meteorologist took on a new project, helping others weather the devastating financial downturn with her Recessionista reports. At a time when banks failed, millions lost their jobs, homes, and retirement funds, the woman from humble beginnings carved a niche for herself, dishing out practical advice that allowed people yearning for a little emotional uplift to indulge in small ways.
Trina Robinson, your consumer watchdog.
Her storytelling and discerning eye earned her a spot on the investigative team. One of her most standout stories was uncovering an underground network of illegal silicone injections.
It's become like a rock or concrete.
The investigation led to a number of arrests, garnered national attention, and won awards. And we can't forget this little girl with a big personality, battling a mystery illness. Another memorable moment in Trina's career.
I'm Trina Robinson. Jerry is off today.
Her commanding presence, also evident on the anchor desk. During her time at WTVJ, Trina's edginess and South Florida knowledge has beamed into homes at all kinds of hours. In the mornings, the afternoons, and most recently, at night.
I had the distinct honor and pleasure to work alongside Trina Robinson for more than a dozen years. Trina is excellent. She's a great journalist. She's a great communicator. And she loved weather. I believe to whom much is given, much is required.
The DC native continuing to leave a mark on South Florida. Her influence extending past the anchor desk, leading the station's Black History Month efforts, and helping mentor the women of tomorrow. Still, Trina is much more than the sum of her accolades. She's not just a force on TV, but also a wife, daughter, aunt, and friend who leads with kindness, guts, and generosity.
And it is so fitting that she is in line for this award and this honor. Trina, I love you. Keep doing great work.
Trina Robinson in the house. No, Trina Robinson in the Silver Circle. Way to go, Trina. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah.
Hey, everybody. That girl in that video sounds amazing and probably fun to hang out with. I love to meet her sometime. This is a joy to be here, and my whole career literally has been a joyride. You've seen I've gotten to do just about everything. Thank you to Shaylee Argata, my 11 p.m. executive producer, and Anthony James. They put together that amazing video. And thanks to my good friend, Frank Adelson, who sits on the board with you guys. He has archived all of my stories over the years, and I think he's gotten like 1,000 of them, so thank him for that. I want to get all my thank yous out of the way. Thank you, George Carballo. You are a tremendous leader. He is the general manager and president of NBC6 and Telemundo 51. I was going to say 51, but it doesn't sound as good when I say it. But George, you have been a mentor, a friend, a leader, thank you for all you do for me and all the opportunities. In a time when you think a chick like me would be on the downslope, George gave me the 11 p.m. newscast, so thank you. I am honored. I'm living my dream. I'm a poor kid from Washington, D.C., and who would think I would be in a room with all of you, all of these accomplished journalists and wonderful people. I always wanted, from the time I was a little girl, to be in that little box that came into people's living rooms, telling them stories and making a difference in their lives, educating them and informing them, and that's exactly what I have gotten to do. I've gotten to do great stories and do good journalism. And again, it's been a joyride. I call Miami the news mecca because it's a place where you do all kinds of big stories. There are no stories bigger or better than here. And sorry to the rest of you guys. You have no idea what it's like to work in Miami. It's crazy every day. Nelson Mandela, the great freedom fighter from South Africa who went from prisoner of 30 years to president, said, "I never lose. I only win or learn." I can't say I never lose, because I've lost a lot, and I've won a lot, and I've learned a lot. And it's made me a better journalist and a better person. I hit the jackpot when I arrived in South Florida. I had the opportunity to work for a wonderful man that many of you know, Don Brown. Barb, you know him. George, you know him. Helga, Willard. An incredible human being. And he actually first met my husband, and my husband introduced me to him. My husband was the owner of WTVT Channel 13 in Tampa, and he introduced me to Don many years ago. Don and I became friends. We kept in touch, and one day he called and said, "I need you to come if you can come. I have no meteorologist practically, and so I need you to come." So I came down. And he said, "You know what? You're the only person I've ever met who can anchor, investigate, do the weather, do the sports, and do it all in the same newscast if I need you to do it. You can take this job and make it whatever you want." And I did just that. And I feel so grateful for that. Don left me in the hands of the gentleman you just saw, for those of you who may not know Willard Shepard, America's Black Top Gun. He is a fighter pilot, an attorney. What else? You're a lieutenant colonel, you're a boxer, you're just about everything. But Don left me in the hands of Willard when I got here to show me around town. And boy, did he ever. It was always Willard in the car, and I'm glad your wife didn't come today. It was Willard and his chicks in the front seat, and I was in the back seat. He may fly fighter planes, but for 2 years, he drove Miss Trina. Everywhere Willard went, I went. He introduced me to everybody in this town and took me to places and just gave me the whole Miami experience. So I never had a learning curve getting here and learning the different communities, the Haitian community, the Black community, the Caribbean community, the Latino community, the Cuban community. Willard gave me that education, and for that, I am tremendously thankful. And the funny thing is, now that Willard's a lawyer, and my husband's a lawyer too, and they get along great. So don't say there aren't any honest lawyers in Florida. There are two, and they're right in the room. I mean, come on. But Willard is one of those people who really, really helped my career along, and I am forever thankful to him for that. He and my husband have taught me how to be a better human being and taught me the value of pouring into others. Again, thank you. I've always had a thirst for learning. I was that kid who wanted to learn everything. I went to college like 5 times. I just couldn't stop going to college. But the funny story and the endearing story about all that is that my mom, as a little girl, always wanted to go to college. And she came from a very poor family of sharecroppers and could not go to college. When she finished high school, and she'd been bugging her parents like for a year, "Can I go to college? Can you send me to college?" They were like, "No," it was 11 kids. "No, we can't send you to college. We just don't have the money." But there's a lady up the street who says, you're so smart, you're so great. We would love it if you went and worked for her as her maid. And my mother was like, oh, hell no. I'm not working as anybody's maid. My mom was the original side hustler. She could cook, she could do crafts, she could repair electronics, she could do hair. So she would walk to these various jobs until she made enough money to go to a 2-year college. But then she had 6 kids, so she put her education off, and she didn't get her college degree until she was 66. And yeah, Doris Robinson. She's a little under the weather today at 86, so she couldn't be here today. But yeah, she got her degree at 66, and it's a funny and memorable and wonderful day. We get there, and everybody's all dressed up and everything, and so my mom, who really still wears her hats to churches and gets all decked out, she's sitting there in her uniform, or I should say her graduation outfit, and the president of the college says, and today we've got a tremendous woman here. At the age of 66, our oldest graduate ever, Doris C. Robinson, is getting her degree. And my mother's like, why the hell did that man tell everybody my age? Is he crazy? And we're like, settle down, Mom, don't you hit that man when you get your degree. So my mom is my shiro. She made so many sacrifices for our family, and I'm only standing here because of her today, and I thank her. And speaking of strong black women, there's a wonderful quote from the first black woman to ever hold a seat in Congress. Does anybody know who that is? You can say it, Willard. Okay, all righty. She's also the first black woman to ever run for president, Shirley Chisholm, back in 1972. And she had this tremendous quote that people have ripped off, but it's still hers, that she said, if they don't give you a seat at the table, bring your own fold-up chair. So many black people in this industry in particular, we fight and claw to get to the top and make a space for ourselves. But I'll have to say, Don Brown, Helga Silva, George Caballo, Migdalia Figueroa, all of those people opened the door and made sure there was diversity in this business. They have done tremendous for me in my career, and I thank them all for it. We do better stories because we have people who are telling those stories who look like us, who relate to us. So I think that's a big thing in this industry, and I hope that we continue to achieve in that manner. I never had to bring my own folding chair because of people like Don Brown and George Caballo. They had the seat sitting there for me. All I had to do is sit my butt in it, do the work, succeed, and hit the Excel button. And I think that's what I've done. And I've done it with the help of so many other people. I can truly say that my colleagues at NBC6 and Telemundo 51 always have my back. I don't have to worry about a hair being out of place because they always look out for me. I feel so fortunate and so gratified to have worked in this place. Now, it's not over yet, Georgia. I'm not going anywhere. The ride's not over. I still have some mountains I want to climb. I still have some things I want to do in this business, even though I've gotten to do a whole lot. But for the first time, I guess, in my career, I'm looking in the rearview mirror and seeing more days behind me than probably in front of me. But for as long as I can, I'm going to continue on this ride. It's been truly a hell of a ride. It's been a joy ride. It's been a thrill ride. I feel absolutely blessed to be in this business and to be able to work with people like you all. I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for honoring me today, honoring the other folks who are just tremendous and have had sensational careers. Thank you to my friends who are here today, Morelis, Llanos, and Lisette Mari. Thank you for being friends. Craig Stevens. Craig and I worked together way back in the day. Of course, he's older than I am. He kind of sheltered me along the way. No, he isn't. Thank you, guys. Thank you. May God bless you. May He smile upon you. And may He give you His peace. Thank you. Many blessings.
Congratulations, Trina. It is a pleasure to introduce Our next honoree, Michael Schaefer, Vice President and General Manager, WVUE TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
Michael Brandon Schaefer was born August of 1964 in New Orleans, the last of the baby boomers and in the middle of the Beatles' invasion of America. A New Orleans boy through and through, Schaefer developed a passion for writing. While at the University of New Orleans, he started working at the Driftwood newspaper and quickly became sports editor. In May of 1984, Schaefer got his broadcast career break.
I get a call when we start talking about the position, and he says, but they're kind of bad hours. They're midnight to 7:30, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I was like, what are the bad hours?
Once he made it into the newsroom, he started writing sports, which then led to becoming a sports producer. But in October of 1996, Schaefer returned to news as weekend assignment editor. His climb up the news management ranks continued as assignments manager and executive producer. The ultimate test came in 2005 with Hurricane Katrina. He helped guide the team at LSU in Baton Rouge, which kept WWL's coverage on the air through the storm.
He was an incredible leader. He kept the coverage going, not only the coverage, but being there for people when they needed to talk with someone about what they were finding out about their own personal property and their own families.
The team worked day and night for weeks, many with flooded, destroyed homes, and was later honored with a Peabody, DuPont, and National Murrow. During that time, Schaefer also decided to chronicle the devastation of St. Bernard Parish, authoring the book Lost in Katrina.
I thought, this is history. We knew that. I thought, I need to chronicle the history because it may not come back. Now, I know that might have been a little bit of a dark thought at the moment, but I'm like, what if it doesn't come back? And so I felt compelled to write something. I remember, I'm pretty sure I walked up to Sandy at some point and I'm like, I'm going to write a book.
In 2008, after a long dance at WWL, he took a leap of faith, left WWL, and joined WVUE as news director. It was an exciting time. Saints owner Tom Benson had recently bought the station, and general manager Joe Cook orchestrated a new path for the station.
We were fortunate here to be able to bring this station to New Orleans as a locally owned station.
The station made investments in on-air talent like Dave McNamara and me, Lee Zurich. And WVUE expanded newscasts behind John Snell, Nancy Parker, and Kim Holden, while building a formidable investigative unit which led to the station's first ever national award.
Michael Schaefer has an extra gear. He's got a sixth gear and a drive that most people don't have, and I think it's infectious.
The accolades poured in, winning a Suncoast Emmy in 2011 for station excellence. And by 2013, the station won the National Murrow for overall excellence, along with a Peabody and DuPont awards for our investigative work. Broadcasting and Cable named Schaefer News Director of the Year.
I remember the day Mike walked in. Of course, he had that big smile on his face. He gave us all a hug. Right away, he jumped in, and he had that energy. And of course, he was like, we want to win.
Along the way, the New Orleans ratings race slowly changed as WVUE chipped away at the market leader. In 2016, WVUE won the May ratings at 10 p.m., the first time anyone other than WWL had won a ratings book in 38 years. The long and challenging road to that success took a huge emotional hit in August of 2019, when longtime anchor Nancy Parker died in an airplane crash while covering a story about a stunt pilot.
It was important. We knew we had to do a good job. People needed to see that we were going to band together, do it together, get through it together, do right by the story, and do right by her. And we did.
The station dedicated the studio to her memory. His final story as news director came with Hurricane Ida, right as he was taking on his role as WVUE's vice president and general manager. Under Schaefer's guidance, WVUE has become a nationally recognized news operation. As GM, he's making his presence known, having orchestrated the sale of their longtime facility and buying a new building as they celebrated their 70th anniversary on the air. Michael Schaefer is a generational leader. His passion, his drive for excellence turned a perennial number 3 television station into the market leader. That was accomplished by holding fast to journalistic integrity. He believes, and in turn led his staff to believe, that if you commit to excellence in every newscast, every day, the viewers will follow. And they did. From weekend sports producer to news director of the year to vice president and general manager.
What a great boss.
Michael ushered in a new era at WVUE, paving the way for the station to cement the legacy he built for years to come.
Well, I'm a crier, but I promised I wouldn't. Thank you, Belkis, for almost making me do it again and making me follow Trina. Oh, my goodness. These super wonderful on-air people, and then I'm the crazy behind-the-scenes guy, and I got to do this now. Try to make sense, right? But I'm going to try. First and foremost, I want to thank the Suncoast Chapter of the National Academy of Television Arts. Thank you. I'm humbled. I'm honored. It's humbling to get in front of a bunch of other people and say thank you. It's been 40 years. 40 years I've been in this business. And you know what's kind of cool about it is yesterday, May 18th, was my 40th anniversary in the business. When I talked about, 40. I was 9 when I got into business. I know, I look good. I do. I've kept myself up. But anyway. And I also got to celebrate that 40th anniversary with our great Chief Legal Officer of Gray Television, who took us on a great tour of Fort Lauderdale. So thank you for your hospitality, Kevin Latek. It's been a beautiful weekend so far, and really kind of a neat way to land on 40 years. So I want to congratulate all the other honorees today. What a beautiful ceremony, and what a great way to honor such great work from all the different people in this room. And I'm seriously humbled to be part of that number. Although I will say, Trina, New Orleans is not a bad little news market either. So just saying, when you talk about crazy, I'd have you any day, by the way. So if anybody makes a mistake, you call me. We'll make that happen. So you keep going on with it upward. That's good. So on a serious note, journalism has never been more important than it is today. How often do we hear that, right? I would say that journalism has never not been important, especially in a democratic society. There's no coincidence that it's part of the First Amendment, right? Freedom of the press. So all of us in this room that are journalists, we must always fight to make sure that that right is never infringed upon, because it is what makes us great, it makes this country great, and we will fight for it. I know I will. So anyway, just wanted to say that. Think it's important, got to say something important and heavy before I name check everybody I've ever worked with. After 40 years working at WWL Television, which was a national leader, and now Fox 8, which has become a national leader, it's teamwork. I don't do this by myself. I do this with so many great people that have come with me and before me and with me now. And, so I'm going to do a little name checking. So thanks for the indulgence on that one. I spent 25 years at WBO Television, and during that time I worked with some of the, again, like I said, some of the greatest journalists and people you could ever want to be with. Spent almost a dozen years in sports producer, right? Sports producer to general manager, that makes sense, right? Yeah. Thankfully, I have some people at this table that have made sure they kept me moving forward. But Jim Henderson, Mike Haas, Tom Planchet, Bob Parkinson, Chris Myers, they had my back for a dozen years. Love those guys. Sports, they make great news people. Joe Duke was my news director, always had my back. So thankful that I got to work with him. I'm so proud of the work we did at WWL and at Fox 8. We have covered some of the biggest storms, some of the biggest stories, Deepwater Horizon, you name it. It's onward, you know. And we did a lot of really great work, so I'm super proud of it. 15 and a half years ago, I moved over to Fox 8, the number 3 in the market. Took a chance on myself. I left the great station of WWL TV, and you know, I never thought that would happen. You know, you're thinking, 25 years here, right? Where am I going to go next? Well, someone named Lee Zurich. This guy, if you haven't heard of him, look him up. You love his work. It's unbelievable. He walks in my office one day and says, hey, you know, the news director left across the street. He goes, you need to go for that job. I'm like, I'm not going to that place. You crazy? But I did. And it was one of the best moves I ever made. It was great. And, you know, it's one thing to be at the top of the game, to come down and say, oh, we're going to go back up that mountain. It's been unbelievable. And we've climbed that mountain. I'd be remiss not to mention Joe Cook. He was the vice president you saw there. He had a vision. He wanted to win. We made a lot of things happen, and it became a great place to work. And, you know, sadly, he died about 3 weeks ago. So may he rest in peace. We got some bud waiting for him one day. This bud's for you, buddy. John Snell, who I worked with at WWL and at Fox 8, mentor to all of us. Thank you so much, John. Nancy Parker, who we referenced there, was a 2018 Silver Circle Award winner. No one ever more talented and beautiful. We will miss her forever. Also, I had great managers and teammates. I just want to name check some more. Jay-Z, Rhonda, Nancy DeCordy, Chris Finch, my buddy Chris. Oh my God, I'd just take a bullet for him. But I think he'd take one for me. I think I have taken a bullet for him. Maybe a couple. But anyway, they were great. My current managers, Andy, Tommy, Blaine, Heidi, just salt of the earth. I'm so thankful to the support that I've gotten in Gray Television, Hilton Howell, Pat LaPlatney, Kevin, like I mentioned. I have some other people to mention at this table. Kristen Palestine is our news director. I've worked with her since 2006. She couldn't be here today. She is just one of the best journalists you ever want to meet. She reminds me so much of someone that is sitting at this table that I will talk more about later. But anyway, she's just fantastic. She's the daughter I never had, and I'm so thrilled to have worked with her. Greg Phillips, this guy you need to know. He is all in, all the time. He's one of the best humans you ever meet, and one of the coolest too. And sorry that I, burned your brain the first time we ever met. I was really giving it to someone who was giving me some trouble, and I think it freaked him out. But anyway, he recovered, and he realized later I was right in that, he's like, oh, this guy's a little different, right? But he's fearless. When we had when we had a police department that was literally shooting pictures of one of our anchors, this dude here, at a shooting range, he went behind the woods. We were trying to figure out what was going on. I'm talking about deep woods of stuff. Probably shouldn't have done it, but he did it. We covered that story. It was important. We're not going to let anybody do stuff like that to us. I mean, we have too important of a job. But anyway, this guy you can count on anytime, anywhere, and we've covered it all, right? Katrina, Deepwater Horizon, you name it. Love this guy. I'm going to say love a lot as I keep moving down the line. Lee Zurich, I've known him since he's 15. one of the best friends I've ever had, one of the greatest journalists you will ever meet. I'm serious. Look his stuff up. Peabody, DuPont's, Murrow's, you name it, he's won it. He's earned it. He's the hardest working guy I've ever worked with. He is amazing. He's even a better friend. I love him and his family. Great people, and I am not gonna cry. You ain't getting it. So anyway, love to you and a family. You know that. Sandy Breland, and this is where all they're like, he's gonna do it. He's gonna lose it right here. Woo, we win money. I am not. I'm stone cold right now. But Sandy Breland I've worked with since the 1980s. We were producers together a long time ago. I've learned so much from her. She's our COO of our company. She was our news director at like 10. I mean, she's just one of the most amazing people you will ever meet. And she's so accomplished and so wonderful and so sweet and so loving and so everything you can imagine out of a boss. I've been lucky. These are my friends. And I've worked with these people for decades, and we're still together. And funnily enough, I keep waiting for her to fire me. I think that's what keeps me on my toes. When she was named the news director like 30 years ago, I pulled somebody in a booth. I'm like, oh God, Sandy's the news director. I think she hates me. I think she's gonna fire me. So anyway, she's promoted me 4 times since then. So somehow I've managed to stay out of her way, but I've truly learned so much from her, and I've modeled a lot of what we do around what we've done together as a team. We went through hell and high water so many times, and she's never not been there for me. And I'm lucky. I'm super lucky to have that. And you know, the good thing is when you do that kind of stuff, when you model yourself, when she'll say, hey, why did we do this? I go, oh, it's just your playbook. That works so good, you know, like, oh, she goes, oh, okay. Anyway, thank you, Sandy. You know I love you. And Dave McNamara, her husband, been working with him since the 80s. Their family, Kylie, Ryan, I love you guys so, so much. You know that. I know I'm sorry, I'm going a little long. The dearly departed, I've got to talk. My father, my mom, my sister, my brother, Patsy, Johnny. Very small family nowadays. My mom would have loved this. She was super proud of me, and I was, you know, the light of her life. I loved her like she's the light of my life every day. So anyway, thank you, Mom. Love you. I will see you hopefully not too soon. I do have my brother here, Henry. So he took so good care of me growing up, just from the time I was born till now. We had so much love. We didn't have a lot, but we had love, a ton of love. And that came from my parents, and that came from all of us, and we love each other. And Henry, I love you, my baby. My 2 boys, Connor and Aiden, they are the lights of my life. Y'all make me better. You make me work harder. Y'all are the greatest 2 guys I could ever have in my life. And the worst days with you guys, the absolute worst days, will always be better than the greatest days I ever had without you. Y'all are the best. I love you. And of course, finally, my wife, Jay. 30 years. We're going to celebrate 30 years of wedding anniversary this summer. And she is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me, period. She's my rock. I love her. She knows it. And every day I get to wake up and come home to her. And that is the best. So anyway, congratulations to all the honorees today. Thank you for my indulgence in name checking. Have a great rest of the night, and thank you, everybody. Love y'all.
Congratulations, Michael. And now it is a pleasure to introduce our 8th and final Silver Circle recipient of the afternoon, Jean Yeagle, retired chief photojournalist, WTSP-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Florida.
In the words of Ansel Adams, there are always 2 people in every picture. the photographer, and the viewer. In the world of Gene Yeagle, there's an intimacy to his art, an innate ability to see and capture more through his camera, a virtuoso of the viewfinder. Gene has been dubbed the Lens King.
It was in awe of you and your creativity when we were together out on the street shooting.
For 37 years, Gene has captured the joy, the sorrow, and the strength of Tampa Bay.
What I loved about working with Gene is that his stories, they made people feel something.
From the beauty of youth to the wisdom of aging.
I am Mary Pomp, and I'm 77. I certainly think I'm a good driver.
To the finality of life.
So we called in a priest to serve last rites and said goodbye to her the next day.
Gene's lighting and composition are unique.
Good morning.
Interviews that present like a piece of art. Fully embracing the mixed mediums of video, film, and still photography. Always challenging himself with the goal of creating a cinematic masterpiece. On this story, he shoots inside a dollhouse to recreate a scene from Nazi Germany. It's morning rush hour. Gene traveled the world for 10 Tampa Bay. And the hot story on state-run radio is a big shakeup in Cuba's government. This is the scene of their crimes, Lithuania.
We cannot forget about the Holocaust. It's something we cannot just forget about it. It happened.
I must say, from my part, from the Wailing Wall in Jerusalem to the cliffs along the Oregon coast, you have been an amazing travel partner, both personally and professionally.
On September 11, 2001, Gene was covering President Bush in a Sarasota classroom.
Somebody came and whispered in his ear, and his face turned red, and he sat back in the chair.
On that day, second graders learned the word terrorism.
They were mean and they wanted to destroy the Americans.
Gene's ability to capture a moment and mood is unmistakable.
It's hard to describe the emotion that being here brings up in my heart.
A photojournalist whose sweetness and sensitivity lives and breathes in his stories.
I just want to say thank you, Gene. You were a tremendous journalist. You made me a better reporter.
Gene inspires us to think more creatively.
I just want to say thank you for all your friendship and your mentoring.
And the Emmy goes to The Changing Cuba, Dave Wagner and Gene Yeagle.
While he downplays the accolades,
Gene Yeagle, WTSP.
Gene is responsible for more of his co-workers winning Emmy and Edward R. Murrow Awards than any photographer in station history.
Gene, thank you so much for everything over my time at WTSP. It was so incredible to work alongside you and to learn from you, and I will forever be grateful for this moment of time that we had to work together. Congratulations.
Simply put, he's the GOAT of television news photographers. A passionate photographer, a phenomenal person who every day makes us and the world look better.
So on the day I was born, June 20th, 1987, Gene Yeagle was covering a sandcastle contest and a juggling contest. Thank you for making me feel young.
Can't say that I'm not nervous here. I'm not usually the one that's in front of the camera, so to speak. So I did write a few words down, but first of all, sincere thanks for this honor, and thank you to the Suncoast Chapter of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, and then also special thanks to a great friend, an amazing storyteller, and the person who nominated me was Preston Rudy. There were a lot of thoughts and memories that came to mind as I sat down to write, quote, my speech. It seemed overwhelming. How do I condense my 40 years as a photojournalist into a 5-minute speech? It's impossible task for me, especially for someone who is more comfortable behind the camera and editing with images not wordsmithing a script or speaking in front of a large group of people. There are literally so many people that helped me get to this moment in time. Thanks to all the reporters, the producers, the assignment desk editors, and fellow photojournalists who helped me hone my craft over the years. And with their help, I've been blessed with many awards and recognized by my peers. Like many of you, I was born and raised in Miami. From an early age, I was drawn to photography, both still and film, and eventually video. I wasn't the best student in high school, so when I had the opportunity to better my grades, two friends and I would produce some short 8mm films. The final one was a documentary of our senior year at Archbishop Curley High School. From there, I attended Miami-Dade Community College, enrolling in the TV production classes that were headed by Bert Delgado, a former Suncoast Chapter board member. Bert was not only a great guy, but a great teacher. I remember close to the end of one semester, I walked into the classroom and Bert handed me something, and it was an award for a story I produced, shot, and edited. He had submitted to the video without my knowledge. My first award, and yes, I still have that. I began understanding the power of being a journalist while I interned and worked part-time at several stations here in Miami before landing a job as a photojournalist in Fort Myers. 2 years later, I went to Tampa Bay and spent 37 years as a photojournalist and eventually chief photojournalist at WTSP. My guiding principles have always been the same. Be respectful of those we cover. Remember, you are a team of two most of the time. Work together to tell the very best story. And give back. Remember your humble beginnings in journalism and help those who are just starting out in this amazing profession. I think following those principles have helped me be a better storyteller and a better person. Like many of you here today, I've been blessed to travel the world, to have a front row seat to history, to interview famous people, and to struggle with the emotions I felt while covering some of the most horrific, gut-wrenching events imaginable. From being in a classroom of kids with the president in Sarasota on 9/11, to sharing the intimate and haunting goodbye letter a soldier wrote his 2-year-old daughter before he was killed in Afghanistan. This profession taught me how to appreciate what's around me and to appreciate each day and be thankful for what I have. There have been moments of euphoria, of happiness and laughter. Maybe the best part about my job has been meeting the new people, and every day was different. You know how it is. You walk into that newsroom, you get your assignment, and you begin back-timing your day. It's just part of the adrenaline rush. Bottom line, there's no other profession like this. Even though I left television news just over a year ago, I don't think I have really disconnected from it. Sorry. Honestly, I don't think I ever will. And I don't think I want to. Being a photojournalist defined me as a person, and I am proud of what I did. I haven't put down the camera just yet. I'm still working on some projects, documentaries, and so I still want to tell stories. Early on, I mentioned the many people that helped me along the way, but the really important people during those years were my high school sweetheart, best friend, and wife, Ann, and our wonderful son, Matt. Thank you for keeping the house safe while I was traveling the state covering hurricanes for days and days, and thank you for putting up with my working holidays and the ever-changing crazy shifts. And finally, thank you to my mom and dad, who always supported me. They are not with us anymore, but I know they would be proud. My first Emmy Award was in 1987. Yeah, I know, I'm dating myself. And back then, the ceremonies were held in Miami. Since my parents lived there, they would dress up and sit in the lobby of the Fontainebleau Hotel during the ceremony. When a category was coming up that I was nominated in, I would go out and tell them. They would walk into the back of the room and wait to see if my name was called and if I walked away with a statue. I wish they could be here today. Not standing in the back of the room, but here. I can't believe it's been 40 years. It's gone by so fast, but I'm honored to be here. And thank you all. Congratulations to everyone. Thank you.
Congratulations, Gene. So several of you have made me cry this afternoon. Thank you all for a lovely afternoon and for sharing the special moments of this year's Silver Circle presentation with our honorees. I would like to thank Carla McDonald and her husband Wayne, Debbie Panchal, Stacy Panson, Victor Hernandez, and the NADA's team for helping to make this afternoon a reality. We hope you had a wonderful and memorable afternoon. Thank you all for coming.